This is an overview video of PC Specialists RECOIL II Laptop. This is for gaming and high intensity use. I'll put my spec in the description. And yeah, it's got an aluminium chassis. There are some plastic parts which I'll highlight later on in the video. So yeah, let's take you around the chassis. So this is a pretty slim laptop coming in at 19.9mm. It's got a headphone jack here, a microphone jack here, a USB 2.0 which is optimized for fast charging for phones. It's got a slimline Ethernet port in here, and then you've got the vent on this side for one of the fans, and then a Kensington lock on the side. Around the back, you've got the charging port in here. You've got a USB-C here. You've got a HDMI, and then you've got two mini display ports, which unfortunately aren't compatible with Thunderbolt 3. But then you've got two vent solutions at the back as well for extra cooling. Around this side, you've got two USB 3.0s and then an SD slot here, as well as another fan vent here, because this laptop has two fans, one here and one here, which allows airflow through the back and sides of the laptop, along with a quad heat pipe system integrated into the laptop too. If you take a look at the back of the laptop, you can see there's the speakers here and here. There's the two fans that I was talking about, and you can see that there's an aluminium mesh here which allows for cooling, as well as vents here, which is pretty good for cooling, especially for a laptop of this size. And then you can see the rubber feet provide a good length of distance off the ground to allow for extra ventilation for the laptop and thus better cooling. Just to put some perspective on the size of the laptop, I've measured 36 centimeters across here. I've measured 24.5 back there with depth, and then altogether, including the rubber feet, it's 22mm in height. So that's pretty good for a laptop, especially of this spec, and that's without the rubber feet, that's 19.9mm. As you can see on the top, you've got some contoured lines here which make the laptop look pretty sleek, and it's brushed aluminium, so you've got that nice little texture on top of the laptop too. Upon opening up the laptop, you're greeted with a 15.6-inch display, and you've got a per key RGB mechanical keyboard which has the sound. So I've heard some people have actually complained about the sound of this, and maybe if you're in a library and it's really quiet, yeah, you might have a problem, but I have not had a problem at all with this sound. I quite like it, and I don't think the keys are flimsy. It's still making the mechanical sound like this, like some of the other reviews have said, so it's all been pretty good in that department. So the bezels on the side are like 5mm thick, but at the bottom you can see that it does have a bit of a chin, so you can see it's not completely borderless at this end. There is quite a bit of a chin, but you don't notice this at all. I thought it looked a bit funny in pictures, but while you're gaming and actually just using the laptop, it kind of makes sense because you don't. It's not really in your eye view anyway, so it's pretty good. As you can see here, it's got the GeForce GTX sticker and the 8th gen Intel i7 sticker, and also a little bit more information about the speakers. They're alright. They're obviously it's a laptop still, but they're alright. It's got Sound Blaster Cinema 5, so optimized for gaming. But yeah, if you're big into your sound, you'll probably want to get external speakers, but I'm sure you guys know that anyway. The trackpad is no buttons, but it's got Windows Precision drivers, and it clicks in, and I've had no issues using this at all, so it's been pretty good in that department too. I haven't optimized the startup time, and I have got stuff installed, so this isn't a brand new sort of startup time, but just generally speaking, the laptop starts up pretty quickly. and you can see the lighting effects of the per key RGB doing a rainbow. So you can see it's booted up already, so pretty nifty. So this is my current light setup. You can also see that there's an LED status indicator bar here that you can also modify the color of. So this is just sort of my gaming keyboard setup. Probably see it better at night, but you can see it's pretty damn good. You saw the effects earlier. They're not the best effects, of course, you can get better, but for a built-in laptop keyboard, I think it's insane. You can see that they've changed the sort of sides here to make it a bit of a smaller laptop, so the number pad's a bit pushed to the side and the keys are extremely squished together. As for a typing experience, I have had a few mistypes compared to my other laptop where there's probably more space, etc. But ultimately, it's just something that you get used to, and it's the same with every laptop. So you can see here, this is the software that you get given with the laptop to do the keyboard. So there's display settings. You can then go individually and customize these profiles along with all different kinds of effects. So for example, you can have one color, you can have breathing, so it fades in and out. You've got wave, reactive, rainbow, ripple. You can change these settings through brightness, speed, as well as direction on applicable ones. You can manually change the fan settings from this too. So gaming mode will just like use the appropriate fan setting for how hot your system is. And I've noticed that, yeah, the fan curves are weird. Other reviews have said this, and it's true. The fan curves are a bit weird. You can manually change these. If you go into office mode, you can literally set the fan speed, and as long as it will stay adequately cooled, it will stay at that fan speed. But if it does start overheating, there'll be a manual override. And what's cool about this laptop too is you can get a fan boost button. So if you probably can't hear any fan now, but as soon as I turn it on, you can hear the fan, and it's quite good. It comes out pushing cold air out from the system, so it's obviously doing its job. And it's pretty good, simple to use, just one touch, and then one touch, and it's good. The last one is the system monitor. So this gives information about the usage of your components, so the CPU, GPU, and also RAM, and also gives the temperatures of them too, as well as your network speed and what your computer's using on your network. You can also change the performance mode in here. So obviously game mode is the best, and then going down. The charger is 15 centimeters by 7.5 centimeters, so it's quite a big brick compared to other notebooks, obviously because this is a gaming laptop. Needs to ensure that there'll be enough charge, and unfortunately the battery on the laptop is only 46 WHR, so it's not really that big. It will give you a few hours of use, but you'll probably want to take this big boy with you whenever you sort of want to game. So my accessories for this, Logitech G402 mouse. And if you come over here, I've got a USB fingerprint scanner, which is literally just £10 off of eBay, and then a TechNet cooling pad. So use that while gaming. Pushes cool air out and also has blue LED fans, so that's cool. With the fingerprint reader, literally simple. So yeah, my experience of this laptop on the whole has been really good. It can play all the games that I play on it, epic, a minimum of 60 FPS with no drops at all. So it's good enough for me. I'm sure you could push it further. I was fortunate enough to get an offer with PC Specialist, so this laptop came at a really good price, and also was included free upgraded build time, as well as upgraded thermal cooling paste. Although one thing I would say is that the laptop still does get hot, especially here. It will get really hot while gaming because that's where the heat pipes are. But yeah, apart from that, it's been all really good. The offer was for a 3 working day build. However, it was built in 4 working days. So you take a pinch of salt with that. And also when queried about that, they say that it's not guaranteed. So if you're paying for this service, just I don't know, I really wouldn't advise it, especially as they're not guaranteeing it anyway. You may as well just wait for the build time, although this build time can vary depending on how busy they are. I've had one problem with the laptop, which is when I'm gaming, using some high intensity games, sometimes the laptop just cuts out with no error at all or anything. And this is because of an outdated BIOS, so the components aren't actually getting enough power, so the laptop's just cutting out. Fortunately, I'm updating the BIOS, so I'll let you know how that goes in the future as to whether this issue still occurs, but I'm pretty sure that that is the issue, so hopefully that'll be fine. But yeah, apart from that, it's all a really good laptop. I definitely recommend it. It runs seamlessly apart from that one issue, which should be fixed by that, and it pretty much beats any game and is extremely portable.